God bless this man, still has it after all these years later. And do you know what I love about Alex Bale's style of theories? They start off with a plausible idea, then blow up to something insane. And today's theory, based on everyone's favorite Cabbage Carter from The Last Airbender, is no different.
Why would I possibly think that a random Earth Kingdom cabbage merchant is actually a Fire Nation spy? And a cabbage bender, but we'll get to that later. Well, think about it. We are told many times throughout the show that there are Fire Nation spies.
He was probably trying to signal the Fire Navy.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he's a spy for the Fire Navy.
See what I mean? Totally plausible here. Avatar takes place during the 100-Year War, and wars usually have spies in them. However, if we take a look at this one scene from Season 3, one that's actually used in this theory.
His sources include singing nomads, pirates, prisoners of war, and a surprisingly knowledgeable merchant of cabbage. The surprisingly knowledgeable merchant of cabbage.
Cabbage merchant, an Earth Kingdom citizen, helped them write Fire Nation propaganda. Because he's actually a Fire Nation spy.
Objection!
There were no spies mentioned in that episode. That play was written by a little too patriotic member of a theater troupe. None of the sources he mentioned were said to be spies. Unless you propose the Cabbage merchant is some kind of sleeper agent. Damn it.
In Book 2, the Cabbage Merchant tries to take the ferry to Ba Sing Se, but he gets rejected by the ticket lady.
I told you already! No vegetables on the ferry! One cabbage slug could destroy the entire ecosystem of Ba Sing Se!
And you know what's crazy about all this? She was right. Personally been responsible for the downfall of the capital of the Earth Kingdom.
Whoa, whoa, Nelly, slow your roll a bit. Let's take a closer look at that scene, shall we? Alright, now let's enhance. Same shade of green as the back of the cabbage. I guess it does look very sluggish at certain angles, but judging by the color, I'm gonna say this is a loose piece of cabbage. Oh, but Connor, I hear you say. How do you know that's not how cabbage slugs are supposed to look? For all we know, that's how cabbage slugs camouflage themselves. And that is a very good point. But here's the thing, friends. Unlike a lot of critters in the world of Avatar, cabbage slugs are very much real in their own. And let me tell you, the damage they can do to your garden is no joke. However, keen eyes may be able to notice from those pictures that cabbage slug seems to be more brownish in color than green. So while she was technically right about the dangers of cabbage slugs, she wasn't right about him having one.
Why? I mean, he clearly has a vendetta against Aang, but why would he be intentionally trying to take down the Earth Kingdom? Well, Aang is not the only one who destroys his cabbages.
What kind of slum do you think this is? Security!
And these are only the times that we actually know about. And then, he's forced to watch as they immediately let Aang, his mortal enemy, inside directly after him.
It is my pleasure to help. Alright, we scammed that lady good.
Well, I don't know if Aang's his mortal enemy per se, but according to my research, sleeper agents will usually get themselves in positions of power that'll help them later down the line. Stuff like the Dai Li, ambassadors, anything government related really, not lonely cabbage merchants. So while I can relate to his feelings about Aang wrecking his cart every now and again, I don't think the cabbage merchant is a sleeper agent.
How exactly is the cabbage merchant spying on the gang? Like, obviously they've bumped into each other a couple times, but Zuko and the Ember Island players have a ton of information about the gang. Like, way more than anyone should have. It almost feels like there's something else going on here.
Something else? Why, whatever do you mean, Alex?
So I have a theory, but what I'm about to say is gonna sound completely insane. It's probably the stupidest possible thing I could say, but what if the cabbage merchant is using the cabbages to spy on the gang? Yes, I believe that the cabbage merchant is a cabbage bender.
Oh my god! Wait, what? Are you sure you didn't get that from a Robot Chicken sketch?
What the heck? Cabbage force for you! Too long I have allowed you and your foes to tarnish my humble cabbage empire! No more! King, I guess I deserve this.
Thank you, Cabbage Man! I'm finally able to capture Aang and hand him over to my father in exchange for his love!
Don't think you're off the hook. I hope you like your vegetables. Saute!
Yes, as I mentioned before, this is the moment where the theory blows up to something insane. So let me quickly go over the power system to explain why cabbage bending isn't a thing. Now, most of you watching don't need me to tell you this, but in the world of Avatar, there are 4 main elements: water, earth, fire, and air. However, in Season 2 of the original series, we learned that each main element has their own subcategory of elements, and the closest thing to plant-based bending would have to be the swamp benders, as they are a group of water benders who have learned to control the water within the plants. In fact, Alex uses the same episode they appeared in to explain the cabbage merchant's spying abilities. However, it's worth noting that the swamp seem to be very in tune with the spirit world for some reason, hence why Aang, being the Avatar, was the only one who could connect with its roots. And as for Old Lady Toph's mentions about being more in tune with the earth, size makes sense. She's had it since she was a kid.
I am the greatest earthbender in the world.
Now we finally come to the last point of the theory: Cabbage Corp.
Did a failing cabbage merchant get enough money to start an extremely successful technology company in The Legend of Korra?
No! Not my Cabbage Corp!
They even built a massive statue of him in Republic City. They don't just hand these out, not even Katara got a statue. The cabbage merchant built his empire with blood money he was paid by the Fire Nation to take down the Earth Kingdom.
There's actually an explanation in the comics. In the Last Airbender comic series, which to my knowledge is still canon, we see the cabbage merchant get inspired by technology after seeing a forklift for the first time. Inspired enough to start his own tech company and name it after his first love, the Cabbages. But there you have it, why the cabbage merchant isn't a Fire Nation spy. I will be fair though, the idea for this theory was as fun as it was silly. Alex really did outdo himself again. But unfortunately, a closer inspection into the lore proved this was never the case. So as always, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment below for more updates. Theory debunked.